So here we have a Tommasini frame that's just come in for some work, and the main problem is, well, actually this frame has only just been painted and just been re-chromed, but as you can see already, the chrome has gone on the chainstay and there's rust coming through, and the customer thinks that there was rust before the chroming was done, and also I think that the chroming's been done very thin. In fact, we've done another video on how to avoid bad chrome, and it has some tips of what to look out for and what to ask your chromer about. Anyway, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to remove all this back end, replace the chain stays and the seat stays. That's just really to make sure that we've got no more rust anymore, because the customer doesn't want to pay for it all to be done and then to have the same problem turn up again. So it's going to have all new chain stays, all new seat stays. So yeah, let's get on with taking it apart and I'll show you how it's done. Now we're going to take this brake bridge out first, and obviously what we want to do is we want to get it out without damaging anything. So I'm just going to heat up the brake bridge, and then once I've got it to temperature, I'm just going to move the seat stay out a little bit with this block of wood. That way I can just break it away from the where it's brazed to the seat stay. There we go. It's come away now. And then we can do basically the same thing again on the other side. And then we can pull this brake bridge off. Now I should point out that before I started this video, I measured all the positions of everything, so I know what height the bridge needs to be when I put it back on. There we go, that's one bridge off. On most frames, this piece at the top of the stay is a solid piece of metal called a top eye, and so we're going to heat that up, and then we're going to lift this seat stay off the side of the lug and the side of the seat tube. So we do need to get this quite warm, and it's quite a chunk of metal to warm up. And I haven't bothered getting rid of any of the paint, so it's just going to burn the paint quite a bit in this area while I'm doing this. So I might just put the heat up just a bit more. It's best if you can come in sideways, because if you come in directly aiming at it, it's easy to heat the seat tube up too hot. And we don't want to be doing that. So I don't know whether you can see that on the camera, but it's starting to glow red a little bit now. It still needs a little bit more. In order to get to the brass temperature, it practically is glowing red that it needs to be. So I'm just using that block of wood again, just to give us a little bit of upwards pressure on it. Yep, there we go, and it's flicked off. What we can also do, now I can remove this seat stay from the dropout by heating the dropout up until we get that red hot, and then we should be able to wiggle the seat stay off. These seat stay ends are basically just squashed over, to put it crudely, and then it's got the sort of lipstick treatment of brass around the edges. Might just have to put a bit of heat underneath as well. So we're just putting a bit of a gentle rocking motion on it. And it's starting to slide off now. There we go, that's one off. If we come in with a stainless steel wire brush as well, we can get rid of some of this brass that's pulled on top. Just helps us clean it up for later. So we flip the frame over now, and we're going to take this other side off. So it's the same operation again. We heat up the top eye until it's red hot. So I think I'll come round this side. So it's the same operation again. We'll heat this top eye up until it's red hot, and then we'll just tease it away from the seat tube. So again, we want to avoid heating the seat tube up, because that's very thin and it'll only damage it if we get it too hot. So that's why I'm aiming the torch away, not directly at the seat tube. Well, you can get the lug a bit warmer, but the bit that protrudes below the lug is really what I'm referring to. And if you're very close with a flame, you can really direct your heat better. So I'm just putting a bit of pressure on now on my hand. It's not hot further down, and there we go. It's come undone. Seat stay off this dropout now. It's on the other side. So it's the same procedure. We just want to heat the dropout up. We want to put the heat in there first, because that's where most of the material is, most of the mass, and so we need to get that warm first. And then once we've got that up to temperature, we can put some heat into the end of the stay, and then we should be able to start wiggling it off. There we go, we're getting there now. So put a bit of heat further up now. We're about at the right temperature. It's just starting to move. There we go, we're off. So here's the top of the seat stay, and this part here is what we call the top eye, and it's a solid piece that's usually turned or cast, that's brazed onto the end of the seat stay, and then that attaches usually to the seat lug. And in this case, it's engraved with the Tommasini T. So we want to save this, so we're going to again remove this off the end. So we're going to remove this top eye now. So we're going to put plenty of heat into the top eye, because like I say, that's a solid piece of steel. Hopefully you can see this. And then we'll get that red hot, and then it should just drop off the end of the stay. It's starting to drop off now. There we go. It's gone. So we're going to take this dropout off now. In fact, I finally found a use actually for these adjustable spanners, because they're not much use for anything else. But they're good weights. So yeah, we're going to heat up this dropout again until we get that red hot, and then we'll move the heat up a little bit onto the chainstay, and the weight of those spanners should allow it to, or pull it out at the end of the stay. So yeah, it is important that we don't get the dropout too hot. We want to be the glowing red, but we don't really want to go as far as the sort of orangey colour. Although that's sometimes a little bit hard to see on a camera, because the change can be quite subtle. Anyway, it's about the right temperature for the dropout. So I can move the the heat up now onto the stay. I just need a little bit on the other side. It just started to move then. I think it's got a bit more on this side that needs a bit more heat. Might have to give it a bit of a tug. There we go. Yeah, I know. There is. And now we'll do the other side. I think this one will be a bit easier because we have a bit better idea of how much brass is in there this time. So yeah, we're getting it up to the red hot temperature. To keep it all uniform as best you can. And then we can start moving up the stay. It's moving. I don't know, darling. We're going to use a really big flame. And then heat up this bottom bracket shell around the seat stay pot. We need to get a nice even temperature. There we go, and that's how you get it out. So there we go, that's the Tommasini dismantled. I did this one more or less in real time so you can see how long more or less each process takes, and you get a bit more detail so you can see exactly how I do it. So yes, that's probably the easiest part is taking it apart. Next we've got to redo the new chain stays, put the dropouts on and fit the seat stays and the bridge and everything else. So we'll do that in the next video. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this one.